Help! 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 Those were the cries that I shouted out at the top of my lungs as I was bleeding to death. This was the most tragic and worst scenario I've ever been in my lifetime. Today I'm going to share the story of what happened to me and how I pretty much died and came back to life. It was a freak show and I was only 16 years old. I was a boy, invincible. I thought the world was mine and nothing could ever happen to me. I was very wrong. And because of this, I've grown much more grateful and much more appreciative of life. So it was a summer day, casual. I just coming back from the gym, sweaty, tired, a little annoyed because there was a lot of traffic for whatever reason. And so I could not wait to get home. I was rushing, driving like a maniac because my dad thought it was a good idea to put a 16-year-old in a Maserati. And so I get home in like 10 minutes tops when it should take me like double that. Really annoyed, and I was so anxious because I was gonna go meet up with this girl. So I was like getting ready really fast, trying to get in the shower, change, and boom, head out right away. That is not how it went. Not at all how I planned it out. So I realized I don't have my key on me to get into the house. And I know we have a spare in the garage, so I take the screen off the side window. I jump in, land on the washing machine, and as I'm jumping down, I realize it's gushing blood everywhere. I look at my wrist, and it's red, sliced to the bone. I look up, and there's a garage railing that the wheels go up and down on, right, for the garage to open. And I sliced it on that as I was jumping down, as I raised my arm. I'm screaming, panicking, open the garage door, run outside, help, help, help! I'm screaming, I'm cussing for no reason, I'm amazed at what's going on, I'm about to die. I call 911, I blurt out my address. I tell them, please get here, I'm dying. The last thing I can remember is I went inside to grab a towel, and as I come out, I run to the street so I can get in like somewhere where I'm visible to other people because I'm yelling to my neighbors. And I collapse, I faint. And when you faint as you're bleeding out, you think you're dying. I felt death at this point. I know what it feels like. The last thing I remember was I wake up and the paramedic is putting me onto the stretcher and into the ambulance. It was very, very shocking and scarring. For the first time in my life, I need help. I'm in dire need of help. I'm dying. And I'll never forget the paramedic that was so kind and helpful the whole time, reassuring me that I'm okay. It's gonna be fine. I'll be alive. I'm gonna stay alive. So they take me to the hospital. I'm hospitalized, and I have to wait 3 days until a special team of orthopedics, those are hand surgeons, or hand and feet surgeon specialists, come in to take care of my surgery. After 4 hours and 14 stitches, they told me I was going to be all right. I woke up, the doctor said, congratulations, you're gonna be fine, you'll be able to use your hand again. They even saved my artery, so they had to take a small vein out from the other side of my arm and insert it into where I cut my artery. I don't know how I'm alive today. I have never been so grateful in my life. I realized at that point that I have such a huge amount of respect for the medical field and everyone involved. I got signed out that day and I was starting my checkups next week. So for about 3 months I was required to wear a cast, and I realized how useless my life was without my right hand. I couldn't do anything, and I started school too. So I was pretty much useless. I couldn't write at all. The only way I could answer questions was verbally. And I realized what a pain this was. So about 3 months into this, they took my cast off finally, and I started physical therapy. During the incident, I'd cut the ligament that controls my thumb. I had no movement in my thumb at that point. Slowly, I would go to physical therapy twice a week, and I would massage my thumb and play with it with my other hand until I could make full circles. Afterwards, after I'd mastered that, I took little steps, baby steps, onto doing it by itself. And slowly, with much exercise and weeks and physical therapy, I had fully regained control of my thumb. And I was amazed and extremely happy at the result. I was alive. I could use my thumb. I could use my hand, and I began to greatly appreciate life. So to conclude, we don't really take life for the privilege that it is until something drastic happens to us. I felt this on myself. I thought I was invincible. Nothing could ever happen to me, and in a heartbeat, my life was being taken away from me. And to finish off, I have a Marcus Aurelius quote, one of the greatest Roman emperors, and he said, "When you arise in the morning, think of the privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Do not take life for granted, because you never know when your last day might be." Thank you.